Coming up on the program. African Americans consider moving permanently to Ghana. Ghana has been marking 400 years since the first African slaves stepped foot in America, with a call for Africans living overseas to come home. Throughout 2019, which the Ghanaian government has branded the Year of Return, African Americans have been visiting Ghana in increasing numbers in a bid to learn more about their history. And while the number of Ghanaians living abroad still outweighs the numbers returning home, there are some African Americans who are intent on making Ghana their permanent home. CGTN's Nabil Ahmed Rufai with more from Accra.
Born in America, Jerry Johnson now calls Ghana home. He moved from Los Angeles in the U.S. to Ghana to settle permanently 15 years ago.
It's been very good being in Ghana, being in Africa in general. Anytime a black man is in a black country on a permanent basis, it's a good thing, although there are a lot of people who want to get out of a black country, but that's only because they don't fully understand the potential.
Jerry Johnson is a strong believer in the emancipation of black people, a political doctrine pioneered by political activist Marcus Garvey. He embarked on a tour of several West African countries to learn more about his ancestors and teach others about their collective history.
Coming here, recognizing that some of the people through the colonization process, I think, have lost the recipe. You know, now the work is how do we get the recipe back? How do we get the knowledge back, the confidence back, the courage back? And the best way to get courage back is to know who you are and what you've done. So Marcus Garvey used to always say, what man has done, man can do. And so, but if you don't know what you've done, then you don't know what you can do.
Johnson decided to settle in Ghana due to its political stability. Jerry Johnson says he built this African ancestral wall to educate people about Pan-Africanism. It has 92 portraits of leaders, activists, and scholars from the whole African diaspora.
Normal time, they call him the Amazon. Okay. That's the French, you know, from the mythical Amazon female warriors.
Johnson uses his ancestral wall to attract tourists and school children for a fee. He says he's seen an upsurge in African American tourists this year, motivated to make the journey in the year of return.
I've heard a lot of pros and cons. You know, some people say, well, it's a PR thing to get, you know, money and tourism money. I say, well, maybe some people see it like that. But I think on balance, it's a good thing because no matter why people come, or no matter why they were whatever the motive was for inviting them, doesn't matter to me as much as the fact that they got here or they're coming here. Because once they come here, then they can see a lot of things for themselves.
Johnson has also found love here. He is married to a Ghanaian from the northern part of the country with whom he shares 2 children. His daughter has already expressed an interest in history.
This is Apoka Kariane. Apoka Kariane is a far-flung man from the northern part of Ghana. Young Apoka and her brother settled in a place called Bukere. This was the time when Africans were being caught by slavers and sent to work as slaves outside of Africa.
For Jerry Johnson, the Year of Return hasn't just been about attracting tourists, but inspiring a sense of pride in a shared history. He hopes more people will consider coming to resettle in Africa. Having found a home in Ghana, Jerry Johnson says he wants to continue sharing the values of the country's ancestral leaders. He believes this will help raise a generation of culturally conscious people capable of turning the fortunes of Africa around. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, CGTN, Accra, Ghana.